Smith-Lever Act of 1914 fostered the development of state agriculture or cooperative extension services nationwide. The system of informal education is a cooperative arrangement involving federal, state, and county governments and the land-grant universities. In North Carolina State University and North Carolina A&T State Universities make up the NC Cooperative Extension Service. The fundamental mission of the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service is to extend the campuses of the universities and their research technology and educational resources to all people, rural and urban, farm and non-farm, adults and youth. Involvement of our volunteer leaders and advisors provides grassroots input into our program. The NC Cooperative Extension Service is one of the most extensive advisory systems in the nation, with county extension advisory councils assisting to determine program needs within the counties.
Cooperative Extension has always been a willing partner in various aspects of the community. They've been a huge resource in the effort with the local farmers market, with the revitalization of the Florence Mill in Forest City, trying to find an effective use of that building. So they're always ready to weigh in, to provide assistance, to link folks with the expertise for the university system. So they're just a great asset for the community.
Farms in Rutherford County were large, but towns were small. The greater percent of the families obtained their living by farming. By 1910, well-attended farm institutes were held by North Carolina A&M College, who spoke to farmers on the importance of soil building and cultural practices. Then in 1912, the first farm agent, J.N. Jones, was appointed in Rutherford County. At the turn of the century, cotton production encompassed most of the county's land area and was the main cash crop. Corn, wheat, and oat acreages were the main field crops. As methods of production changed, extension farm agents networked with farmers to demonstrate how yields could be improved.
And of course, the whole idea of the cooperative program is to bring information from North Carolina State, information that's gained through research, and get that information out to the farmers and to the homemakers to give us a much better state, better background. And this, I think, it certainly has accomplished that. So we're celebrating 100 years of the Agriculture Extension Service. And right now in Rutherford County, farming and gardening, truck cropping and farming is an $18 million enterprise.
They work with communities to diversify crops and livestock and assisted with commodity marketing efforts. Farm institutes were held by North Carolina A&M Colleges, now NC State University, for anyone seeking new and improved farming practices. In Rutherford County, Miss Jessie Still was appointed as the first home agent in 1918. The duties including working with women and eventually evolved into working with youth as the 4-H program began.
Well, there were a lot of people in the community that helped me at the county level and then helped me progress to district and state level. The Extension Service is a really good network of people. And so Jan and Tracy and Cynthia and other 4-H agents we've had like Christina and Ann and people like that were really good about pulling people that were experts in your project area that could help you. And they were also the ones that maybe judged your bake-off or your presentations or your project books. And so I became familiar with these master gardeners and the people that were in the Extension Homemakers Clubs and things like that, and the Cattlemen's Association. And even though I didn't have cows, I knew who they were. I knew who the Norrises were from Master Gardeners. I knew, who some of Lois Gornto was from Extension Homemakers because they judged my things and they came up and saw me. And so when we had leaders banquets in the summer or achievement night in the winter, they would come up and, oh, I'm so proud of you. And, you did a really good job. And they would just make me feel involved. And they would offer suggestions that would help me because they had done this before. I've made bread, I've done this. And that was invaluable resources that, was very beneficial. And so, it was nice to build that community of network. And it led to other things like Reed and Margaret Helton were, with the Livestock and Extension Homemakers Club. I did things with Summer Fun as a result of meeting them because they judged my presentation. So it kind of developed this network. And then there were also companies that helped as well. I know one year I was in the turkey presentation, and we didn't have a whole lot of money in the county to send us for scholarships or anything like that. And so they called Case Farms. Case Farms paid for me to go to, paid for my hotel, paid for the mileage. They paid for everything so that my mom could take me to Raleigh and let me do that. So, there were people that did things like that. United Way was a big supporter of 4-H always. They gave so much to our organization. So there was a lot of people who in the community helped us as well.
The Watkins community had written to Raleigh asking for help in getting a canning club organized. In 1916, Mrs. C.N. Justice organized a canning club. Later in 1917, a community club and a women's auxiliary evolved. From the outset of World War II, the Cooperative Extension flourished, teaching food conservation wherever and whenever possible.
Well, take agriculture for example, because that was the most important thing for Rutherford County at that time, was to maintain a well-rounded program where farmers could farm their land and keep their land productive. And they needed to know the type of forage crops that could be grown, what they could be used for, and if they go into the livestock business, where are they going to sell their livestock, and how they switch from grain crops over to forage production and be able to graze cattle year-round is what was really successful here in Rutherford County. Rutherford is in the thermal belt, and as a result we have fairly mild winters, nice summers, and a good growing season.
Rutherford County completed the county fair building, which began an era of cooperation with various civic groups. Extension women helped in the first school consolidation and held the first 4-H project leader school for the region. A renewed emphasis was focused on nutrition.
It has really impacted our areas by getting more people involved, that we've even got the schools involved in our extension programs, and that's been very essential for our community, because we just have the smaller schools, but we do have the high schools, but yet it's getting out more into our rural areas with the help of the Extension office.
Extension home demonstration members provided food to the schools, even helping prepare it. In North Carolina, Extension responded before the U.S. entered World War II by helping farmers address fertilizer shortages. As the war unfolded, Extension focused on aiding farmers to supply food to U.S. consumers and the war effort. In the 50s, the cultural arts were emphasized, and Extension women's community efforts focused on the development of the Cancer Clinic and Mental Health Center. The community development program also continued to grow, with the 24 clubhouses built in linkage to the Western North Carolina Community Development Association.
Cooperative Extension Service is a coordinator for all of the different areas of this county. We have a county that's very spread out, large population, but in a small population in a large area. Because the people are spread out, without the Cooperative Extension Service, there wouldn't be no communication between the different groups of people. Cooperative Extension Service provides a lot of information to people all over the county, helps coordinate the efforts of the different community clubs, the 4-H groups, and the homemakers clubs. So it is a gathering place. It's a communication and gathering place for everybody to gather all the information and share it with everybody else.
During the 70s, a new tradition, the Extension Homemakers International Christmas Tree Festival, formed with yearly annual attendance of more than 2,000. Also, the Expanded Foods and Nutrition Program provided training for disadvantaged families. The Extension Council developed the Rutherford County Journal, illustrating the county's revolutionary heritage preparing for the bicentennial. Cattle production during the 70s saw herd improvements and expansion, ushering in a new livestock agent position, focusing on herd health and marketing.
The Extension Service helped me directly by being able to provide a service, like I mentioned, soil sampling and forage sampling for my hay enterprise. I'm a third-generation farmer on our family's dairy farm. My grandpa dealt with the Extension Service to really change the way some farming was done in the area, to save a lot of soil, to implement some new practices, And to have somebody like our local extension agent be able to come out and analyze what you've got and tell you how you can make improvements, and also share what other people in the county are doing with you or other people in the state, it makes a world of an impact on how you do your operation. And the different things that other people do that you may not know about, the extension agent sees a lot of people doing a lot of things, and he can help you tweak your operation to where it's the most profitable.
And home economics leaders of both land-grant universities, numerous specialists, Rutherford County Extension staffs, and with the support of county commissioners, the families of the county continue to benefit from a very unique educational program. While our programs and audiences are varied and have worked to meet the needs of residents over time, one thing hasn't: our commitment to providing practical, trustworthy education that help people solve problems and develop skills for a better future.